Welcome everyone to the PUD District 1 of Skagit County Board of Commissioners meeting for 26th of August. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, so I would be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 6.
I motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 6.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unopposed. The motion carries. Audience comments. Seeing our Sterling staff in the room. Nobody online. If you're online and like to make a comment, please raise your hand. Nobody there. So we will move on to old business. George, I'm not calling you old business. I'm just, you're in charge of old business.
All right. I won't take it personally. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Update you on a few things that are going on, budget related. So, staff is working on our, budget for 2026. We're looking at the capital plan. We've had one meeting about that so far. Another one planned for tomorrow. So that's going well. I think you should have gotten invitations and a schedule for the budget hearing and the work sessions. So that should be on everybody's calendar. Hopefully, if things go well, we'll get a adoption on November 12th. That would be our target. Reminder about the water workshop scheduled in Leavenworth for last week of September. Speaking of Wapuda, so I'm going down to Olympia tomorrow. We have a PUD managers meeting on Thursday, so I'll be down there meeting with them. We're still working and doing our year-end performance evaluations for staff. So all the evaluations are in. I reviewed them all, and so now supervisors and managers are going to meet with their staff and deliver those. Kathy is still working on the salary comp study for non-rep staff. And that'll be updated here soon in time for budgeting and to take effect starting next year. And then lastly, I will point out something that we're adding to the meeting packets, and you may have noticed it in some of the memos. We're making a change to the information provided with regards to fiscal impact on the project memos. So you'll see them in project acceptance memos, like we saw in today's consent agenda. You'll see a summary in the fiscal impact of the cost to date of the project and provide a total cost at the point of acceptance. So or adding that. And what we'd like to do is start off doing that with projects. So you'll see in new business when we award the Alta Vista project, there's some information in the fiscal impact section that talks about cost to date, the contractor amount, and then our estimated cost to complete the project. And so that should help provide a snapshot of information at important milestones of the project. And I'm hoping that provides a little bit more transparency on the projects, information on project budget status. And, we're going to look at or track that information on a project by project basis, not calendar year. It's hard to do it on calendar year. We estimate cost to complete by calendar year just for our budgeting purposes, but we're going to estimate costs based on a project because usually they run over multiple years, sometimes 5 years. But that information is in the memos that we provided today, and you'll see them going forward. So if you have any feedback, I'd be interested if there's different way to present it or anything like that. Any feedback would be appreciated, and we'll make tweaks if needed. But just wanted to point that out to you. But yeah, that's it for me. A lot more to get to.
I just want to say thank you so much for incorporating that, because I really do think especially we see with a lot of these projects that we've had in the recent past, where there's been change orders and some Highway 20 was a great example, working with Department DOT, where there is a story to tell, and it goes longer and across multiple years, more than we had anticipated in some cases. The RO project's another one. And then in some cases, there's projects that are going to be in multiple phases as well, like our disinfection. That's going to be a long story if it goes the right way, hopefully. That will be a really long project. So I think this definitely provides continuity and transparency for project projects. So thank you very much.
Yep.
Right on. All right. Well, let's hear from engineering.
All right, thank you. I don't know, I feel like before we go into budgeting, this is kind of the end of our year. And so I'm just going to try to highlight real quickly what we've done over the year. So anyway, I'll just get into it. Mission, vision, values. Just, real quickly, recap of the pipe replacement program. This year, really since October of 2024 to now, we've installed 10,900 feet of pipe. Alta Vista project obviously is going to be awarded tonight, and the East Victoria project is the last project outstanding for the crews to be doing. So College Way, what's happening? College Way. We've had some challenges with, the depth of the thickness of the pavement. It was a foot thick or more. We had some utilities in the ground. There was old wood stave pipe, traffic. Contractor really did a good job with that one and wrapped it up just about a month ago. The Township Road project, this is a crew project. The street is paved. So it was great that we were able to get that in before the city of Cedar Woolley did their work. The East Division Street project, this is something the crews are working on now. It goes from where we left off our improvements on Mountain View Road to just past the school. That would be from east to west, essentially. It replaces some old 4-inch AC. There's some restrictions in there. It's really a 12-inch line is out on Mountain View Road, and then we have this 4-inch restriction. So we're taking that out. We're renewing the pipe, and we're making the fire flow viable all the way out to the end of the line. And then our last contracted project, again, which we're seeking award for, is the Alta Vista project, and that will round out our, am I going to get a shutdown? A reboot? Like it happens to me in the morning? Okay. So anyway, this is Alta Vista, and that one's going to be likely going to construction, September, October, beginning of October, end of September, beginning of October. I think I'm out here. Okay. This is the East Victoria project, the last one the crews will be doing. It's a 1-block project in in Burlington. And they're just going to tackle this. It's a 4-inch AC project. Let's see. Can you go to the next slide? Next up, we'll talk about water treatment plant projects. This first water treatment plant project is the disinfection replacement. We went through the alternative analysis earlier. I'm just clicking through this slide. But now we're in the design phase. And we've kind of taken some of the concepts that were in the alternative analysis. We're refining them, trying to bring the scope down. We've combined some of the rooms to make the footprint smaller, reduce the cost of the size and the cost of the building. And we've also relocated the building to a little bit better spot that's just left of the gate as you enter. This will, make delivery of chemicals easier, and it won't have as much impact on future things we want to do up at the water treatment plant. The W1 pump system, this has been under contract for a while. We've been securing materials, at least the contractor's been securing materials. They anticipate starting September 9th on that one. Let's see, the generator project, we're still kind of at 100% design. We just haven't quite pulled the trigger on going out to bid. We do expect to do that by the end of the year. Just kind of with other things going on, it's a lot of additional work to get that out the door. So, but we do anticipate getting that out by the end of the year. Other projects that we've been working on, the micro hydro is up and running. We are working on transferring the meters to the customer to the school district. The Alger project, we went out for bid on this one and it was way too expensive. So we pulled back with bids. We rejected them with your approval here at the commission meeting. And then we've been working with WashDOT to form a utility agreement with them and put the project under their scope of work, and it should be much less expensive. Right now, their design build contractor is up in Bellingham, closer to Bellingham. They expect to be down here at the end of September. So that's probably when we will see this one kick off. Other fish passage projects, the Cedar Dale Road project. This is the last minute one that kind of hit us. It's behind Barnhart Crane. It ended up being grant funded as well. So we knocked that one out real quick. Currently, we are finalizing the design and bid package for the Henderson Road pipe relocation project. This will be in advance of the WashDOT doing a fish passage down here on I-5. We expect to get that one out in the next month. This is not a fish passage project, but it does deal with bridges and getting our water across. This is the Thomas Creek project, and we're working with the county on them. Currently, what we're working on is just figuring out how we're going to temporarily bypass this, if we can just put a pipe in the creek or if we need to build a temporary pipe bridge. Some other things we're working on. This is the fiber optic map, our fiber optic map. Right now, we're actively in design for the two blue sections. They're kind of hard to pick out. One is on the far left and the other one is in the middle there. This is for going under I-5. We're going to do a directional drill under I-5, kind of at Alder Street. And then just west of LaVenture, there's a place where our easement goes straight over the creek. The trail kind of deviates around that. So, you know, if we're going to stay in our easement, we got to go underneath the creek. So we're going to go from LaVenture, where we need to go under LaVenture anyway, and we're going to go all the way past the creek and then pop up on the other side. The building, so this is just a schedule for the existing building separation. It's kind of a full phased schedule right now. We are in phase 1A, which we're really under contract only up to step 8, submit permit bidding. So 10 or 11 is where we are. We're anticipating construction documents probably December, January, something like that. And then we'll decide to move to the next phase and if we're going to construct that. Some of engineering's operational activities. We have submitted our water system plan update. Just got a letter today, as a matter of fact, that they would like another 90 days to review our water system plan. So hopefully by November that will be approved. Water rights, the seasonal transfers have been going very well. The interface with Badger Ion Water is great. I've got a shot here. These are 15-minute intervals of one of the meters out there. haven't had any problems, no regulatory issues. So it's really been, this has really worked nicely for us, and I think the regulators. Kind of at the tail end of the season. Hopefully Mike will get to turn on the pumps again here soon. But again, I think this is run really smoothly since we've got this going. Other things, let's see, I wanted to talk about the Marble Mount transfer, the Marble Mount water rights. Last year, I guess maybe about this time a year ago, we were identifying and working with Department of Ecology to take our Marble Mount permit to certificate. And Bill's been doing a lot of work with Aspect on this one. And Aspect, who is a certified water rights examiner, has reviewed our application. It's been turned into Department of Ecology, and they've accepted the application. So they're going to take a look at it. Most likely this will go to a certificated water right soon. They've also been working on, we have a number of water rights for the Judy water system. I think there's 14, I don't know if there's 14 permits, and we've got 7 certificates, but we have a 3-phase plan to try to get all of those to certificate, out of permit, move from permit to certificate. And you have to show that water is being used. So it's kind of it's a little bit of shuffling to say we're using that water right, not this one, to make sure that it can go to certificate. And so they've also submitted for the first phase to bring 3 water rights on, combine those and bring them to certificate. So we're really happy about that. Also operationally, this doesn't get talked about much, but it's something we're, really proud of. And, Bill's been doing a lot of work on it. The customer service folks have been doing a lot of work on it. Just, from the financial prudence standpoint, we've been operating without a dedicated person at the front counter for almost a year now. And it's going very well. The development people, the crews they're filling in for one another. They're picking up where other people are when they don't have time. And we have a group phone line where emails and voicemails go to one place, and then Chris Schaff is kind of delegates those. He takes as many as he can, and then when he can't respond to something within a certain time, he'll delegate it to one of the other staff members. But just from a financial prudence standpoint, teamwork perspective, savings for the district, we're keeping things light up there, and it's really working well. Oftentimes, probably about, I'd say 30 to 40% of the time, there won't be anybody at the front counter, maybe even more. And we've got a bell up there, we'll ring the bell, and invariably I'll see Mike Demers or Courtney walking up to go and, grab the person at the counter and work with them on whatever they need. So it's really working well. We're happy about that. Lately, Wendy's been working on securing easements for the Fidalgo water system transfer. We transferred this some time ago. There were some areas where we didn't have easements. This last couple months, she's been making a strong push to get these completed. They're mostly along Ivy Street. There's one on Salmon Beach Road. We've got 3 here that are outstanding. One on Salmon Beach Road that's left. That's out of 28. So we've got 24 or 28 easements that we were able to secure. Really great job, getting those. A bunch of people went out. Mark Semra, Catherine Price, Wendy, Chris Schaff. I think the crews did a little bit of locating, but they walked the street. They walked the road, knocking on doors one by one and talked to people and secured those easements. So really happy with that effort. Some other things that are going on, we submitted the ASR. I wanted to talk a little bit about the incentive program. Last year, we spent we spent 42,000 out of the incentive program. This year, it's been a little bit slower. It's kind of, we had a peak year and now it's kind of it's a little bit slower. We've only spent 7,000 this year. So we're going to keep our eye on that and see if we can make adjustments to that burden. We've also, our purchasing policy that was updated this year. And then we've got our small works roster active and it's doing well. We've got contractors signing up for that. So that's good. We're also implemented our drone program this year and for surveying and kind of working out the bugs, but we really see where that's going to be a payoff for not only a project delivery standpoint, but also just safety, not having our people out in the road doing surveys. And the GIS group and court were a very big part of selecting the drone and the software, and they did a good job. Court has also been working on some new GIS applications to help out with our pipe selection process, understanding what we've done in the past, where we're going, where we need to go. And he's going to share those with you. And then I'm going to probably hop back on just to go through a little bit of how we're moving and approaching the pipe replacement program in the 2026 budget and beyond.
Thank you, Mark. Good afternoon.
Hey,
Well, okay, so Nick said to Alt Tab. I'm going to go back one step here. So, yeah, what we have been working on, and this has been really probably 8 years of effort on the asset management group, and also for everybody who's working in our field and engineering across the board on putting together some dashboards, I guess you might call them, kind of like business intelligence dashboards, and assembling them in one place, a site where anybody here in the district can navigate to if they are participating in capital improvement planning, picking projects, doing project selection, or if they're interested in information about our water distribution mains, as far as historical information, what have we done historically with installation, and looking at the condition of our water mains. So I was just going to do a quick little demo here to show you how it works and what we've been up to. And I'll be doing a more in-depth dive in this actually at the Waputa workshop. So if any of you are there, I'll go a little bit more in depth on this. But what I'll show you here is right at the front, we have this map. And this is showing our water mains, our water distribution system. And let me just clean this up a little bit here. But we have these different colors here. So blue to yellow to orange to red. And so those colors represent likelihood of failure scoring that we've come up with. And the scoring is based on, right now it's just based on the material of the pipe and the year installed and the leak history on the pipe. And so there's multipliers on those, and the scoring goes from 1 to 10, 1 being the best, newest condition pipes, 10 being pipes that are in the worst condition. And we should seriously look at replacement on those. So let me just go back here kind of to the dashboard view. And along with that, we have these kind of light pink layers. And these all represent areas where we've worked together to select pipeline replacement projects for the next 10 years. And we have a list of these projects along the right as well. And this is sort of an interactive list. So if you select one of these, it's going to zoom into the project extents here. This is one, just an example, we're calling the Moore's Garden replacement project. And this is mainly a 4-inch AC pipe in this area. You can see this is red, so this is up high in our likelihood of failure scoring that we have, and you can see that it's also labeled with these group leak count values. And what those represent is, in the background, we use GIS tools to take GIS individual segments and merge them together based on having the same year of install and the same pipe material and historical construction order number, and we kind of consider that a group of pipes. And so we total up the leak count on those groups of pipes, and that gives us a total group leak count for a similar aged and material type of pipe. Another example I just wanted to show is up here. This is on Highway 9. So here we have, this is saying, 6 group leaks on this segment of pipe, and it's yellow. So it's like, well, it's not scoring very high. So it's hard to tell what's going on there. So we have a number of other layers that can provide some more insight into what's going on. So we have another layer here. For example, this is showing leak counts on individual segments of pipes. And this here is a short segment of ductile iron that's been failing, or it's having a lot of leaks prematurely for its age it's from, we think, stray current is working in this area. So just kind of a little demonstration on some of these layers that we have put together that are really helping and are to inform our capital improvement planning. And it's really an effort of putting together not only the data that's being collected in the field, but also the work of our field crews who are out there and responsible for collecting this leak data, collecting it in city works, making sure that it's accurate. It gets reviewed by the superintendent. It feeds live into a dashboard like this, where we have integrations in the background that some of the analysts on my team handle to build custom scripts that are refreshing this data so that we really get a very accurate picture on what are our pipes doing right now. And that in turn helps us decide what are the pipes that we're looking at replacing.
Hey, Court.
Yeah.
So in this example, all of the yellow shows up because that was all kind of the same construction order on the original construction?
Exactly, yeah. Everything that's shown in yellow is that 8-inch ductile iron pipe that was installed in, if we zoom in closer, we can see, what is that, 1993?
So Mike Fox was here then, right? Yeah. Okay.
So that, that's a pipe that's supposed to last 80 to 100 years.
Right.
But we're seeing some issues with that.
And the issues are just with that one segment, but it selects the whole thing just because of the algorithm you
and
have
so
in there.
that's
Okay.
why we provide some of these other layers that help you get a little bit more insight into exactly what's going on, right? You would hate to say, hey, that whole pipe is
Right.
that whole group of pipes that was installed under that construction order is bad. We're really looking at a small area that we're going to have to deal with in some way.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's all I have. Any questions?
I just want to say that this is every utility supervisor's dream. I can speak from experience that doing this in 8 years is a huge lift. I just am so impressed because it not only takes buy-in from having a dedicated GIS staff, but buy-in from supervisors and from field staff, because your data is only as good as its input. And so if people aren't putting in the data out in the field, then there's nothing to work with. And the historical data that you guys have brought in, everything like this is a dream tool. And then the next step is, now that you do have these dashboards, is what questions do you want to ask and what do you want to answer? So now it's training on how can you interpret the data and the different layers and what other layers do you guys need to make. And this is just such an amazing planning tool that I am so excited that this is what's coming to us for our capital facilities plan. Like, when it comes to pipe, this is amazing. So
Thank you.
Great work.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I think we're all really excited about it, and it's great to put the same information in everybody's hands. So we're all looking at the same data, and then be able to gather input on how we can improve it. You know, probably one of the first things we'll want to do is try to incorporate consequence of failure scoring into this as well. Right now, we're just looking at likelihood, but if we want to look at if a pipe's going to fail, how many customers are going to be out of water? Or is it in an urban area versus a rural area where we might decide to prioritize something based on risk of pipe failure?
yeah, and I think basing your replacement plan on a tool like this really shows our public that, and our ratepayers, that we are prioritizing what we need to prioritize, and we're not just going based off of age. We're using data, driven decision making to stretch our dollar as far as we can. So I think this is wonderful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Got back.
I thought you were going to show your other application.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's all right. I've got a screenshot unless you want.
We
One
can go
thing I
to it.
want to do say though too is, with the with the data, we've got all that data in there. It's usable. The way court has gone about building this system and bringing in other people from not only the engineering department but operations, the construction crews, everybody, is out there GPSing, contributing to this data, and they trust the data because they know what's in it. And if you've got a system that people don't trust, nobody's going to use it. So just really hats off to Court for the way he's kind of brought this to the district. The other tool that he didn't show you that I was hoping, I'm going the wrong way again. That I was hoping he was going to show you is the one on the end, the water main installation history figures. It basically tracks what projects have been installed through developer actions, through pipe replacement, and then further breaks that down by transmission line. I've got a screenshot of it in my concluding little part here. So the pipe replacement program, we've talked about this a couple of times this year. We're trying to maximize and select pipes based on biggest bang for the buck with, using Court's tools, the GIS application that he's put together. And from what you saw in the pipes that are potentially going to fail, we put together a list of projects. This is just basically the useful life of each type of pipe. And so when we're figuring this out, we got to look at all these different lengths. How long do they typically last? And, we're kind of modifying this as we learn more. And some of the things that we need to start thinking about are the plastic pipes. They don't have a long life, and we've got a lot of them out there. So that's something that we're going to, keep looking at. We don't know what their fail rates are either. What does their fail curve look like? Does it just drop off, like a battery does, or do some of them hang on and some of them not? So we're trying to pay attention to that. I know you've seen this before. This is our, what we need to replace on an average straight line. It's 44,000 feet of pipe. The pink line shows when pipe will need to be replaced, or when it comes to the end of its theoretical useful life. The 44,000 feet of pipe is a straight average replacement length that we need to do to replace this existing pipe. It's not feasible for us to just go from here to 44,000 feet. So we've been working on a plan to, increase our pipe replacement. We've looked at some projects in the budget that maybe we can take out that are more, kind of planning level, and we've had them in there for grant funding, and maybe those come out and we take a different look at it. Our current replacement investment is $3 million to $4 million a year on average for our current budget. That's what we've approved from the 2025 budget. 2026 budget, we're going to start moving that up each year. We've increased our cost per foot. It's $400 a foot based on inflation and, current engineering standards and indexes. This year, we're installing 10,900 feet if we complete the Alta Vista and the Victoria project. So that leaves us about 33,000 short of our straight line average, which is a lot of pipe to replace. Fortunately, that's not coming due for quite a while. This is the other application that court created. And so when you go in here, you can select by year the green, yellow, or blue tab. It shows up on the map. You can see our historical replacement feet. Those are feet of pipe replaced. The green is pipe replacement. The kind of, I don't know what you call that, mustardy brown is a developer project. And then the blue is transmission line replacement. So we're using this as kind of figuring out what our averages have been, how much we've spent, and how much we can, not only with the funds we have, but with the staff we have as well. This is a summary of the projects that were filtered out through courts, through the application court showed you. And we have these programs, these are a list of projects that we just want to be able to draw from. These are the worst projects we have in our, I guess, the worst pipes that we have in our system right now. But the way we're setting up the budget is we're not selecting any one of these right now. What we intend to do is dial in a 2-year construction window so that we can do design and construction and be ready for the next year. And then just put a placeholder in the budget and then pick one of these projects as they bubble to the top. Like this year we had Cherokee, come up again, another breakout there. So that takes it way up the list. When we're right there with 5 or 6, if you get 6 or 7, you're going to the top. So we kind of want to be a little bit flexible and do that in time as we need to. But we have this list of projects, we have the financial demand for it, and we're representing that on our budget. What we're representing is that what's in our 2026 budget for a 10-year plan is that blue line. So that's what we're intending to. It doesn't look like much, but it is. It's practically doubles what we are intending on replacing, going from about 10, 11,000 going to 20, 22,000, something like that, over the course of 10 years. It's not going to jump in any one year. We're just going to bring it up slowly and add a project and a length and keep getting our pipe replacement totals going up. And so we're going to talk about that some more during budgeting, and hopefully we can come up with a plan. Some of the projects that we dropped off that were significant, the Montborn tank, that was a big one. The developers moved forward with their own tank on site. And the other one was the electrical upgrades to the water treatment plant. We don't really anticipate needing those for some time. So that saves a lot of capacity in the budget as well. Are there any questions or?
No, very complete summary to
All right, well, thank you.
Excellent.
I don't know. I feel like we do a lot over the year and sometimes it gets lost. And as we go into budget, I want to make sure you guys know that.
Well, and I think the operational tools that you guys use on a day-to-day for planning, I think for us to be able to see those and appreciate those too. I know being from the industry, seeing those tools, I know what goes into them. And it just getting to see that side going into budgeting makes me feel so comfortable. I mean, especially when talking about pipeline replacement. So I just appreciate your guys' approach, and I really do like seeing the tools that you guys are using on day to day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Mike.
Whose dog was that? No, I know. I just wanted to add, while we're on the subject, thinking about and talking about all this, it's important to remember too that probably 75% of the leaks we repaired in the week are service leaks and broken saddles, not even talking about pipeline. So that's a whole other animal outside of just the pipeline damages that those are reporting on the map. So a lot of our time is spent repairing service lines and broken saddles, rotten saddles, because there's just as many rotten saddles as there is rotten pipe. So sometimes the pipe could be C900 pipe, which is good for another 50 years because we have 0 leaks on it, but the saddles are rotting off of it and the service pipe is bad. So we also have that other animal to just keep in mind while it's on my mind when we're talking about this.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's see. Let's hear about recommendation to award Alta Vista, Vista View, and Plaza Drive project. Mark's back. You thought you were going to get to sit?
Yeah, doggone it. Thought I was done. Yeah, so we got this, we have the Alta Vista project. Really pleased with the bids. You can see where these came in.
Mhm.
The engineer's estimate wasn't the high bid, so that's good. I think some of a couple of reasons why these are lower. The ground is anticipated to be fairly easy to get through. There's very little pavement repair, saw cutting, etc. So that'll bring the cost down. And there aren't a whole lot of redone utilities. So the odds of encountering a rogue storm sewer or fiber optic line are low. And I think that there's lower risk to the contractor, and the traffic control is very minimal. So anyway, we did have our apparent low bidder at the opening, bid opening did catch an error in their bidding and requested that they be released from their bid. And I think it's best that we do that just so that they don't get hurt and we don't get into a problem. Yeah, the other bids are good. Otherwise, the other option would have been to reject all bids. But I feel comfortable with these numbers, and we would like to move forward with Trico for this work.
Good response too.
Yeah, a lot of bids in there.
Excellent.
This might be a chance, Nick, if you could scroll up a little bit to the fiscal impact, just to show how, yeah, there we go. So this is kind of the approach we're going to take at award time for projects. We'll show how much we spent so far, what's in the project budget. And so in this case, there's 1.3 million in the project budget. The construction contract award is 640,000, but that doesn't include all of our work for tie-ins, inspection, all the admin costs, all those things. So we're estimating cost to complete of 1.25 million. So we're preserving that full project budget until we get closer to the end. And then at acceptance, we can update you and hopefully we come in under. But at this point, we're preserving that budget just to have it for the rest of the duration.
Just a quick question. Am I missing, where is the engineering estimate on this?
You
I don't
scroll
know, I
up.
did it. It was around 150,000.
Keep going.
More than the,
I mean, sorry, it was 850,000.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just didn't see it on the memo.
Yeah, is it not shown on here?
Maybe? Oh, I don't see it.
No, it
I don't
isn't
see
on
it.
here.
Well, then that's a really great bid.
We believe you.
It was
I'm a lady.
850,000.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Quite sure. I'll email it to you though, just so
Great.
I'm not
No, having 11 bidders,
overly
that's great.
mistaken. Yeah.
Any other discussion, questions, comments, concerns?
I would make a motion to award the bid to Trico Companies in the amount of $640,830.14.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, and we have a board meeting date change. George, are you gonna?
Yeah, this was pointed out when we started looking at our budget schedule. November 11th falls on a Tuesday, and I think it's still worth having that meeting. If things go according to plan, that would be our earliest adoption date for the budget. So if we could just, instead of canceling it, move it to the Wednesday, that would be the best.
Excellent.
You need a motion for that then?
Yeah,
Yes.
as well.
I would make a motion to approve moving the date from November 11th to November 12th for Veterans Day.
I second.
And a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Awesome. Thank you. Well, that concludes our business today. We've got some always great information as to the budget and the reservoir. We like both of those to be, well, one to be low and one to be high, the reservoir being high, but Mother Nature gets a vote on that, I guess. Commissioner comments?
Just an update from SCOG. They passed a resolution to have the executive director serve as facilitator for SCOG, or from SCOG, to work on renegotiating the agreement to update for the governance for the lead entity for Skagit Watershed Council. So we'll be provided with an update as of sometime in December. So Kevin will be sticking around tentatively for serving as that person handling the negotiations. So,
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have they advertised for his position or?
yes, they have. They're currently they're working with a contractor to do the headhunting.
So no interviews as of yet?
As of yet, no, not yet.
Big shoes there. All right. Well, thank you. That wraps it up. We conclude at 5:16.